Vikings, and it's coming up next.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
Two touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now left side on the swing pass. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments. Finish off that play.
To throw on 3rd down, Robbins. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. Call it a pickup of 3 and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And it's fielded at the 34. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
And he did everything possible to rally his team to a win last week, didn't he? What did he throw for?
Over 450 yards.
I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. So, obviously, he and the offense were clicking pretty well. The other 2/3, though, that comes into question. Defense and special teams, they'll need all of them to play better in this one, too.
Mayfield's throw there taken in by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He was locked in. 2 trips to the end zone, Charles, over 100 yards receiving.
How about the combination of route running, confidence going downfield, and the ability to go up and get the football? You're exactly right. It was hard for them to stop him.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he's got this down to the 35.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that is incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Here's 2nd and 10. Mayfield off the play fake. That ball caught by Campbell. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 17-yard line.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Switch out.
From the red zone now, Mayfield. They'll roll him out right. That's complete to his running back, Jefferson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain it.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. First and goal from just inside the 5. Mayfield to throw it. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
They had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago. They're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Second down and goal. Mayfield rolling to his right. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Penalty certainly makes things tougher here as they try again. 3rd and goal.
Right there. 54, right there.
Now Mayfield. Touchdown! Justin Jefferson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football. All right, when you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You say, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 23 carries, 93 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts at drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they got out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. A deep ball down that right sideline, and he made sure that he put it where either his guy was going to catch it or no one was.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
It's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 25-yard line.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a dump off here complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Play fake. Mayfield. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Bradley Chubb gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a third down coming up. Mayfield. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as the season moves on.
I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Robbins. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Butker on for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about him. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Well, CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then, because they'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, That's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield, and oftentimes the QB ends up on his backside, as he did there.
To throw on second down, Robbins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They give him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Robbins. Over the middle, complete. That's Sutton. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Vikings to take over. They were losers a week ago to the Bears, but they lead things here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Mayfield on play action. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Robbins. He's got Anderson right side. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Dalvin Tomlinson drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there, picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Mayfield now. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a throw here to his running back, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Darnell Mooney, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
And the final number on that throw, boy, it traveled an even 69 yards. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. They go play action. Mayfield. He'll buy some time right. That one will be incomplete. He caught it but could not stay in bounds for the long connection.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Mayfield. They'll roll him out right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. On 1st and 10, Robbins. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st down, Robbins. That is taken in by the tight end Fant. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Robbins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw again. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit, but first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll start with a West Coast rivalry that's picking up steam once again. L.A. taking on San Francisco out at Levi's Stadium. And it's the 49ers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Trey Lance with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, let's make the trek down to Southern California as we check in on the Chargers at home in Inglewood. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Mike Williams, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Mixon, 2 touchdown runs to lead the way. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Broncos. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half. Final adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the 3rd quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
That's a real nice job right there. Working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there on the catch and run.
I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Mayfield looks to throw. The quick slant caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Mayfield off the play fake. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. The 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw. Robbins.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. It was wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. Mike 5-4.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 3rd down, Robbins. Flush to his right. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be.
And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big play that time up through the air. 35 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Handoff here to Nwangu. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside. Run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's the backup Stafford. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Stafford.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Broncos are going to have it here at their own 15. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Robbins.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw on 2nd down. Robbins, incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. They haven't had to rely so much on the passing game. It's really been a team effort in the running game that's kept them successful and has them in the lead.
I like that, too, the team effort, because when I was growing up, One guy carried the football, right? You stuck it in his chest 20 to 30 times a game, and he was the heavy volume, heavy dose guy. Now, you spread it around, different people touching it, and in this game, it's proven to be effective.
And spreading the wealth has been very effective. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangu. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Rolling to his right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number one job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to... He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Throwing on 1st down. Robbins. In trouble, and he's taken down. Daniil Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense, that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And notice you use the word sparked, because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure. At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Broncos on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Looking to throw. Robbins. This is caught by Williams. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. That one good for only 6, and it leaves them with a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. On first down, it's Stafford. He finds his man, complete. It's Buchanan. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Dawson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On the give is Nwangu. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Brandon, the defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down. We all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Stafford. Touchdown! A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
He completes this to Sutton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
On 1st and 10, Robbins completes a Mooney on the slant. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Now the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
He's got his big tight end, Fant, and he is out of bounds inside the 35. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
You definitely would like to have hit on that one because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Robbins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Jeff Gladney. The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Drops this off with Nwangu. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Bucker's kick here is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, Robbins. Incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. His throw incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind him.
And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. A 44-yard punt. They're going to wind up losing yardage on the return, though. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Throwing here, Stafford. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball, things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans.